What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Order of the Geckos. Today we are going to make a cooler into an incubator. So here we go. Alright, so first I want to apologize in advance for my neighbor's dog. He likes to bark a lot, so you'll hear him in the background a little bit. Why I wanted to do this video is I posted on my Instagram and asked a few people who are gecko breeders, do they use room temperature or do they use an incubator for their crested gecko eggs? I got most people who do room temperature, and then I got a few who do use an incubator, but most people didn't like the idea of incubators because one, they're kind of expensive. Two, they're kind of unreliable. And it's just easier to do room temperature because apparently crested gecko eggs aren't as sensitive as other eggs can be. So I've been doing a lot of research and I have decided to make a cooler incubator, and I feel like it's pretty foolproof, if I do say so myself. So follow along and I will show you guys all the things that you will need. Alright, so first off, this is the cooler I'm using. This is just one that's been in our garage. It's not being used right now. We got a couple, so I figured I'd use this one. I feel like this is the perfect size. So I did just clean it up and everything. So here is the cooler I'll be using. Alright, so you'll need one of these to hook your heat tape up to. I'm going to use this tool in a minute and I'll show you why. Got some heat tape. Got some tape to put on to attach this to the cooler. It keeps it all warm and stuff, doesn't damage anything. Got some electrical tape. This hooks up to my heat tape, and I'll show you guys how to do that as well. And then I have another thing that kind of is going to help me as a backup to kind of keep up and make sure that this is actually staying at a consistent temperature. So first with your cooler, you want to make sure you get one that has a drainage unit on it. I saw one at Walmart for brand new, about this same size, for 35 bucks. So if you have one at the house that you can just use, do it. I'm doing it this way so it won't damage the cooler in any way. So if you want to keep using it as a cooler, but this is just convenient to do as an incubator, it's up to you. But make sure it has a drainage unit. Alright guys, so I got this heat tape at Pangea Reptile. This is 12 inches by 4 feet. I wish I would have gotten a little bit longer, but it's all good. This is about 12 bucks for this whole thing. And then the plug itself, which is right here, where it has the two ends, is like 4 bucks. They can hook it up for you, but you'll save a few bucks if you do it yourself. And they just give you the rivets that you need and then the tape. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So here we go. All right, so this is why you need a cooler that has a drainage unit on it, because you're gonna feed through those two things for your heat tape, along with the probe here that is for your thermostat. Alright, so now we're gonna hook up the heat tape to the plug. So you're gonna put a hole punch in the copper piece here. Usually want to line up with the black, but there wasn't a lot of room and I want to make sure that there was plenty of space. So you do that on both sides. Alright, then you're going to take this piece and you're going to go in between the tape and feed it through. And you just want it to be flush with the circle. Alright, so you're going to feed the long rivet on the bottom and then the short one on the top, and then you're going to take your tool of choice and just kind of smush this so it will stay tight. Alright, it looks a little rough, but I mean, it's on there, and really the objective is to squish the rivet so that it will stay tight. So then you just do that to the other side. Alright, so they give you this handy dandy tape to cover. It looks like this. And you just cover this piece here. Hard to do perfectly, but kind of like that. And just close the other side. That just helps so you don't get electrocuted. Ta-da! Alright, to also just avoid electrocution altogether, you're going to take electrical tape and take from this end to the other end, and then just kind of close it up at the top so that nothing comes through, and that just kind of helps all that, and then you're gonna do it to the other side, which I gotta do. So all right, so the next thing I did is I just taped it in. So I did it like this because there's not a lot for me to do over on the edges. I just kind of did something simple for now because I'm going to test it out first before I even put eggs in it, because I don't even have eggs ready. So anyway, so then you're going to take your probe, and that is going to be what you use to kind of set the temperature gauge within here. All right, so the bottom layer, you're gonna put some water bottles. This just helps with the fluctuation of temperature. So when you open up this cooler and you wanna check on the eggs and that sort of thing, if you didn't have something like this in here, the temperature is gonna fluctuate quickly. And you don't necessarily want that to happen with the eggs. You want it to gradually do that if you want it to do that at all. So this just kind of helps keep the temperature the same within the cooler once you open it up, so that fluctuation of temperature, it doesn't happen drastically. And just for purposes, I'm just going to use this cardboard, but you want to lay something flat on top of the water bottle so that it has some, when you put the eggs in like either deli cups or a tackle box, whatever you're going to do, it has a flat surface to be on instead of the curve of the water bottles where they can kind of move and they're not set exactly flat. So you want to do something like this. I'm going to get a seedling box that you can get at like Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever. I think that'll be better than cardboard, but you can use that or whatever you think would be best, but just something that you have around the house. But this just kind of creates that flat surface. All right, guys, so for anybody who is curious about this, so I went ahead and did the build. So now I'm going to test it, and I'm going to post on Instagram maybe once a week or however, and just kind of give you an idea of how it's working. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't get a computer fan. Some people may suggest that because it'll help circulate the air. I'm going to test that out and see how it goes without it and go from there. So I took my thermostat probe and I went ahead and just kind of put it in the center. I might need to move it over a little bit, but that's kind of about the general vicinity of where my eggs are going to be sat. Of course, I have a deli cup full of Pangea hatch in here that is ready to just kind of be my test subject. I also got a backup. This is not a thermostat, it's just a temperature gauge. This is going to be the reason that I feel like this is going to be foolproof. So if my thermostat here kind of gives out or something happens to it, this little dude is going to be my backup, and I think I might get a second one that doesn't have a probe. It's just one you just kind of stick in here just to almost triple check myself just to make sure everything is good. So I'm going to let that one kind of free roam in here just to kind of check every area. So maybe I'll stick it here first, and then maybe over on this side, and then maybe over here, just to kind of see if it's staying pretty consistent in the whole vicinity of where the eggs are going to lay. So this is just, like I said, it's going to be my test. I'm going to lay it here and just kind of set it somewhere in my house and close it up, and I will let you guys know how it works. The only thing that I didn't do that I probably will, but I wanted to test it out first just to see how it worked, is I did not close this hole up with tape or foam or anything like that. I think that is something I'm going to just see if it really kind of messes with my temperature or if it's really not going to matter. So the whole point of this is just to kind of be like, you can use a cooler that you have at the house and it doesn't really ruin it by doing any of this to it. You can still use this later on if you need it, if you're not using Incubator at the time. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope that this is helpful in any way. If anybody has any questions, please reach out to me. This is kind of some stuff I've been really looking at and studying for the past couple of months. So this is kind of my test subject, and I'm definitely going to be sharing as I go through the process. Alright, so all you budget-friendly people out there, let me give you the cost of pretty much everything to make this incubator here. So I just went to Walmart today and I saw about the same cooler for the same size and everything, about 35 bucks. The heat tape I got at Pangea for about $12, so it depends on how thick you get it and how much of it you get. But this was about $12 for 12 inches and 4 feet of it. The plug for it was $4. You can get this aluminum tape here at Walmart. You can get a roll of that for about $6. The electrical tape about the same, about $5 for a roll. The temperature gauge that I got this through Pangea. This was $10. And then the thermostat that I got this on Amazon for about $18. So you're looking at, maybe include those water bottles. I mean, like, what do you get? Like 24 of them for $3 or $4. You're looking at between about 90 to $100, depending on what you get, for the cost of everything, which is still pretty reasonable. I think the incubator that I saw that you can get cheap wise was about $120. Again, if you get a cooler that you have just in your house that you're not using, that is going to save you a lot of money. All you'd have to just do is get all the little inside accessories and that sort of thing. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and I'll see you guys in about a week when I kind of show you how it has been working for me.